Hello Stampers, this is Kathy from Stampin' from the Heart.15. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'd like to go ahead and show you now one of the Halloween cards that I gave a little sneak peek on my channel last week, and I'll show you how we made it. So the stamp set that we're going to be using is called Halloween Treat, and you can see it's got Trick or Treat, a spooky spider, an owl, witch's hat, your skull and crossbones, the jack-o'-lantern, which is like a little candy holder, and the little wand. And then we got the accompanying dies. So I've already got them laid out here that you can see. They come in this little packet here, and they're called Boo to You Framelit dies. So I'll have those listed there on my website in the description box below. So if you'd like to order those numbers will be there. The inks that we're going to be using today, just two. We're going to be using Tangerine Tango and the new Basic Black Archival ink. So that's a brand new one that you'll be able to find on our website soon. We'll be using the Tombow Mono Adhesive Liquid Glue. We're going to use a little bit of the Gold Glitz Dazzling Details to give a little bit of highlight to the eyes. A little bit of the gold, well, I guess it's gold thread. It's not really a wire, it's gold thread. We're going to be using the stamp set, and on the inside we'll be stamping the Trick or Treat. We have the stamp for the skull and crossbones. We've got the pumpkin, the spider, and the witch's little wand there. And I went ahead and stamped them already. I actually went ahead and cut them out, what I needed to cut out that I didn't have cut out already with the dies, but I'll show you and I'll pop those out just to save time. And then our cardstock is, we did the basic black, and I cut a piece 10 by 6.5, scored at 5, so it's 5 by 6.5. I cut two vanilla panels, one for the front and one for the inside in the Very Vanilla. They're 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. I've cut two color panels, and this paper was the dual side. So you can see it's bats on one side and stripes on the other. So I just cut one piece, 6 inches, so it was a 6-inch square, and cut it in half, and then we're going to use that on the front. So you'll still have a whole half a piece of that paper left when you're done. And then you just need some scraps of the Very Vanilla and the orange to cut out the different pieces for the framelit dies. And then this is this little beautiful thing. You can order, it's your spider web, that you can get that off of the website here come September 1st as well. And then just a little piece of orange ribbon, which will do our little bow. So let's get started. I'm just going to move these stamps to the side. I just showed you how the stamps would be mounted on the clear blocks. Again, if you haven't heard me before, I love our clear blocks. They're absolutely amazing. If you get the whole bundle there, you've got just about any size that you would ever want. All right, so let me just show you how you pop these out. So these are little metal dies. You just put them on your paper and then just pop them out. This one happens to say Boo, so you pop out the middle. And those are your scrap pieces, and then just use your little piercing tool and just kind of loosen that edge and then gently lift this out. Now if you have trouble, if your dies don't release, you can put a piece of wax paper in between the die and the paper, and then it pops out, but I didn't happen to have any trouble popping that out. So that's the Boo. Set that aside. And then I cut out the spider and the little pumpkin, and then the little wand here. And then what'll layer on top of the wand will be this little tiny orange star. So when we get done, when we get to it, that will go right on there. And these little pieces here are trash, and this is trash. I'm going to go ahead and throw that little scrap away. I'm going to go ahead and put these to the side. You've seen those now. And then this is the one for the skull, and then this is the one for the crossbones, so you'll have to cut out two of those to do the skull and crossbone. But I'm just going to go ahead and put those aside so we don't have to worry about those. And I will put our little die cut pieces up here out of the way too, so that as we get ready to use those are all in one location. All right, and we're going to set this aside. So now to get going on the card base. So as you can see here, I did the black, and then I did the vanilla just as a clean panel on there. But we're actually going to build on here with these two scraps or these two small pieces. So as I've said before, I don't ever do two cards exactly alike. The theme is the same, but the colors is going to be a little bit different. So instead of doing the stars and the triangles, I'm going to do the bats and the stripe. So it's going to give us the similar look. So this is going to go on the top. So I've cut it just a little bit smaller. So that one's going to go right there. And then you see that's a torn edge, just kind of gives it a neat look. I'm just going to tear this edge. Just looking to make sure I get the cut edge and not the manufacturer's edge. All right, so if you tear it towards yourself, tear it towards yourself, that way you have the rough edge up, which in this particular situation, that's what I'm looking for. I want that rough edge up. Now we'll have to decide if I'm tearing that small enough or if this piece is still a little bit too big. So as we look at that, I think I want a little bit more black. So I think I'm going to tear it down maybe to that orange stripe. I would always rather tear it a little bit big first and then go back versus doing it too short and then not really having what you want. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. Just a little bit of extra there that I'm not sure I want all that on there. All right, we are ready. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue and I will put the black down first. So you can see it's your little orange stripes on the back side. This is really, really cool paper. Really awesome to get and fun for the Halloween season, if you will. I hate to call Halloween a holiday. I don't think we're really celebrating death, but you know what I mean. It just seems to be getting more and more popular all the time. It's actually called a holiday, which is kind of weird. But anyway, it is and should just be a fun day for us to take the kids out trick-or-treat and just kind of have some fun. All right, so there we have our base. Now the second thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and put down the cobweb. So let's just go ahead. This is all one piece and just kind of center it there where we think we're going to want it. Why is that looking like that's such a different size? Not really sure. Okay, anyway, let's see. We're just going to put a little bit of glue here in the middle. You won't see it. What I'm doing here, because this is going to be on the black, I'm letting it kind of come off the edge a little bit so that when it actually gets onto the black one, you'll still see it. All right, now we can go ahead and put our skull down. Now you could glue it straight down. I think I used some dimensionals on that. So let's see if I can grab some dimensionals here real quick. And let's put him on there with that. I made this first card, I don't know, a week or so ago, so it looks like his eyes are on the back. And we'll take those off. And we'll put this down. I'm going to use some tweezers to see if that is a good thing. Sometimes my fingers get so messy and then I can't hold on to things very well. Then you do want to make sure that you're getting things straight. So sometimes you just kind of have to, you know, lift it up a little bit to make sure you're getting things straight. All right. The boo can come next. So let's go ahead and cut a piece of gold thread. Now, what I did when I did that one is I just took my thread and I just kind of looped it, you know, around my fingers a few times. Just kind of messy, nothing in particular. Just get some gold thread. Just kind of gives maybe even just a sensation a little bit maybe of a cobweb. And just make sure you collect those ends. I gave it just a little bit of a twist, and we'll probably just put it like right around in there. And we'll put, that'll actually be held down, but let's put just a spot of glue on it, just in case. And then our boo will go right on top of that. So we will just put a couple of dots of glue on the boo as well, not too much. You don't want it popping out anywhere. All right, so we kind of put that to the side. Yeah, that glue is not going to show really once it dries. It'll just dry clear. All right. Now for the bow, if you notice here, I did a little bit of a gold string and it looks like the spider is actually coming down on that thread. So let's just take our ribbon, and I just have a short piece of ribbon. I don't really measure stuff. I just cut and go, kind of just in the moment, and just do little bunny ears there and push that through and make a little bow. Hopefully I can get it reasonably easy. Doesn't look like I got it that time. All right, let's go with this again. Sometimes I've used a fork to make a bow. Have you ever done that? That's really cool. You can make some really tiny little bows with a fork using the prongs and taking your ribbon through. Okay, there we got it. All right. Then we can just kind of decide, is the tail too long? I think we got a good size now. So let's just trim those tails off, and let's go at a little bit of an angle. There we go. Okay, now we're going to just do another little piece of this string, thread, whatever we call it here. And what I did was I did take a dimensional, and I put it on the back of my spider. It actually fits quite well. And then I anchored the end of my thread, which I have now lost. I don't know where it got off to. We'll cut another one. And we'll just stick it to the dimensional. Make sure his head is pointing down. There he's anchored. And he's going to end up about down there. We'll stick him down there. And then we'll just bring this up, and then as we actually adhere our bow, we'll just make sure that he is coming down from under that bow. So for that, I'm going to go over here and get a little tiny glue dot. Since that's a pretty sheer bow, it's pretty small. I don't want anything large, and I don't really think glue is going to work too good for that. I'm a big advocate of using glue, but glue doesn't work for everything, but it works for a whole heck of a lot of things. All right, so we're just going to put that right there. And then we will center that about right there. And now he is coming down on the gold wire. I think that's so cute. And just trim off that little bit right there. All right, our front is nearly done. Can you believe how quick that's going together? Okay, what's left here now is we need to do the crossbones. So again, I think a glue dot is about the best thing that you can do here. Now I will tell you that this didn't come easy for me when I did this one, just trying to get it so that they crossed and that they looked good. You know, you see these skull and crossbones all the time, but yeah, I tell you, when you actually go to cross them, you're thinking, how do they really look? So there we go. I think we'll just go with that. I think that's going to work. All right, and then let's put another dot on the back. And we will put that right on the card, just like that. Once we get it more put together, then we're going to do the Dazzling, but that's going to be liquid, so we don't want to do that too soon. Okay, the another little piece now will be to add the little wand here. And this is what it looks like. And remember I said we're going to add the little star, so let's add the star. Now this is a tiny little piece, so it's kind of hard to keep track of. Working with tweezers sometimes really helps a lot. Let's go ahead and put a glue dot right there, the little baby ones. And then let's put our star right on there. Sometimes it feels like you're working and you got all thumbs. I tell you, some days things go together really well, and then other days it doesn't matter what I do. I can't get a hold of anything or touch anything or make things work. Just struggle, struggle. All right, we'll put a glue dot right there. And then we're going to just poke that back in underneath. And make sure it's peeking out right in there, just like that. Okay, so we got our crossbones, we have our spider, our cobweb, our skull, our boo, our thread, and our little bow. This is coming along really quickly. So now what we will do is we will go ahead and mount this on the face of our card, just like that. Again, my favorite, as you know me, is glue. So we're just gonna clean that off and put it down. Let's put some glue on here. And I cut this so that it's about 1/4 of an inch or so all the way around. One of the things I've noticed is that sometimes my blades do get a little bit dull on my cutter, but I've found that if you take just a basic file for your nails and kind of file those edges, if you ever have that happen, you can kind of file that off and make it a nice smooth edge again. Gives you a little bit longer life on those blades on your cutter there. Okay, so the front is done. Let's go ahead and flip it and open it up now. And you'll see here that I did Trick or Treat. So let's get our black ink, our basic black, and we'll do our archival. Now again, this is that new pad that you haven't worked with yet. And these are pretty wide letters, so I'm pushing it and I'm just kind of twisting it just a little bit. And I find that that really loads it well onto this ink pad, and I get a much better stamp that way. If we mess it up, we can always turn our paper over, but we're not going to mess it up. Trick or treat there at the top, making sure it's coated good. Looks like it is. Okay, just down here in the corner. Put it down. Give it a chance to absorb, and up. That's pretty good. Close this up so it doesn't dry out and set that aside. And then I just just gluing this on just for a little extra ditty. You can put it at an angle, you can put it straight, whatever you would like. Then that gives you plenty of room for someone to write. Now, as you know, if you've been watching my videos, I like to decorate the inside of cards. I just think it adds a lot to them. When you buy a card at the store, they're not always just blank inside. They typically have something written in them, some kind of sentiment or picture or something, and I just find that that's something that I like to do to these that I give to people as well. It just makes it a little bit nicer presentation. Okay, I think we're done. I don't think I'm, oh yes, no, we got to put our, now I did the clear Dazzling diamonds there, and you know what, I got out the gold. So let me see if I can find my clear real quick here. And there's actually 4 of these Dazzling that you can get. There's the clear, there's white, there's gold, and then I believe there's a red. So this is actually the clear so that it dries how that one looks. So I just took a little bit. Hopefully this comes out. Yeah, so it's just like, it's just real clearish, and it has glitter floating in it. And then as it dries, you're just left with the glitter. And a little bit on the spider. You know, I always think that it's black widows at Halloween time, and they typically have that little hourglass on their back, so I thought that this would give it that similar look. So now it looks like we're pretty much done. Make sure those are the same. I think that is really cute. Boo, boo-hoo. So there we go. We've got stars and pumpkins. We've got bats and stripes. We've got boo. We've got orange. We've got spiders, crossbones, and cobwebs. Oop, got little diamonds there yet. Got to make sure we do our little wand. It's got to have the little sparkle too. There we go. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. I'll have all of the products listed for release come September the 1st. As you know, that's when the catalog posts. And as I've mentioned before, you know what? If you would really love to craft and save a little bit of money, you can become a Stampin' Up distributor. And if you just invest $90, but you get to pick $150 with a product, you can then become a distributor, and then you get a discount on everything that you buy going forward. There's no strings attached. You don't have to sell if you don't want to. You can just use it as a discount for your own crafting hobby, which is what a lot of people do. And it's a great way to get some superior quality products at a really reasonable price. So if you're encouraged at all, you would like to do that, please look at the link below and go to my website. You can join there and send me an email. I would love to have you as part of my team. Please give me a thumbs up as you watch this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching, and have a wonderful weekend.